Hello, this is Noreen Crone-Findlay from ToddyTalksCrafts.com, and right now I'm working on a 100-day project that is called 100 Days of Spool Knitting in Little Looms. And this video is all about how to spool knit with just 2 pegs. Now, the cool thing about 2-peg spool knitting is that you're basically using your spool knitter as if it was a lucite. Now, the thing that's very neat about that is that the size of the spool knitter is not really very much of an influence on 2-peg spool knitting. This cord is the same yarn and they're the same size, but I use 2 pegs of this large bowl type spool knitter that I burned a bumblebee onto, and it made that size cord, and a small sort of normal regular size spool knitter made with the same yarn, same size of cord, but look, the difference between the spacing on the pegs. What a difference. And so it means that you can use any of your spool knitters to make 2-peg cord, and then you will get the size of your cord will be dependent on the thickness of your yarn and how tight you pull your stitches. Now, for instance, these tiny angels, the pattern for those is in my Etsy shop, and this one was made on a 3-peg spool knitter made from a spool, and I used all 3 pegs because I was working with quite thin crochet cotton. And this little angel, tiny angel, was made on, no, not that spool knitter, this one. Again, just using 2 of the pegs. And this angel was made on this spool knitter. So the size of the spool knitter doesn't make a really big difference with the finished size of your cord. So I'm going to just move these all aside. I just wanted to make sure that I had said, yeah, the pattern for the, oh, I forgot to put a heart on this one. Oh well, I will do that. The pattern for the tiny angels, which they're about 2 inches, and they're perfect for having in your pocket to give to someone when they just need a little angel energy. Don't we all need angel energy right now? I'm going to move this all aside, and I'm going to get one of the other spool knitters, and I just want to show you the difference in sizes of cords just because of the different thicknesses of the yarn. So I'll just turn off and start again with a different spool knitter. Normally I would not have 3 cords going all at the same time on the same spool knitter, but I did just want to make the point that the same spool knitter, here is sock yarn, very thin cord, perfect for making jewelry and edging on clothing, whatever. And here is multiple strands. I think there's like, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands of yarn held together. And actually I work with even bigger bundles as well as multiple strands of thin yarn. And this is worsted weight. So again, 3 different thicknesses of yarn, and you end up here. I'll just scoot this down closer so you can see a little better. So you end up with different thicknesses of cord just by changing the yarn that you use. And here's the thing that I love about having the larger spool knitters is that I can do the lucite cord on 2 pegs, and so that gives me the ability to make really thin cords on a large spool knitter, but I can also make great big cords as well. And there are patterns for larger projects in my Etsy shop. The link is in my Instagram and on my toddytalkscrafts.com blog. And now I'm going to turn off and edit into the how to do a spool knitted cord. The spool knitting will always go down the outside of the spool knitter when you're doing the 2-peg cord. When you're doing spool knitting that uses all of the pegs or more than 2 of the pegs, it will go down the center of the core of the spool knitter. I work with the spool knitter held in my hand like this, and usually with a larger spool knitter like this, my 2 fingers will pop up between them. When I'm working with just a handheld smaller one, my fingers are behind here. And again, I'll still just be working with 2 of the pegs no matter what size. So I call this one the right hand peg, this one the left hand peg. I start by taking my yarn past the right hand peg to the right of it, and then I'm going to make a figure 8 around the left hand peg, and I'm going to go back and catch the yarn between my fingers. Now I've caught the all of the yarn like that. I've caught the figure 8 and the working end of the yarn, and what I've done is I've taken this loop, this end was here beside, and now I'm going over everything that's between the 2 pegs. This is going to form a knot, and it makes a nice smooth end. And the spool knitting is now going to come down the front of the spool knitter between these 2 pegs. And it's really simple. I'm going to take my yarn around the left hand peg and the right hand peg, and I'll catch that yarn with my fingers. Now I lift up the first loop on the right hand peg, and I can use the working yarn to ask that loop to move to the center. Then I will pick up the lower loop and, oops, I lost that. Don't lose your end there. And then I'll lift the lower loop over the upper loop, and I'll tug down on the end so that this is going to start moving down in front of the spool knitter. I'll go around both the right hand and the left hand pegs, and the lower loop goes up over the upper loop, and I can just make sure that it's moving to the center. That way I'm adjusting my tension. And it looks really slow because as I'm talking and demonstrating, that is very slow. But when you're actually doing it, you just whip right along. And you'll adjust the size of your loops by nudging with the spool, the skewer and the loops, and it's just always the lower goes over the upper, and you can adjust. You can use the left hand loop to pull up on the right hand loop, and then the working yarn, you'll pull it forward and it will adjust the tension on your cord, and your cord will be square and so useful for so many things. So you just keep chugging along, and you'll find that you'll speed right up. But while I'm talking and explaining, it's very sort of slow and cumbersome looking, but you'll find that very quickly you get the rhythm of it, and it just moves along beautifully. And this is a I forget the name of what this is, but it's like a loop, like it's a novelty yarn. It's quite lovely, and it's almost like it's spool knitted as well, knitted in the round. And so your cord just moves on beautifully. Now, if you decide that you want to take this cord off, you don't want to cut it, you don't want to finish off with it, you just want to take it off so that you can use your spool knitter for something else, that's easy to do. Just grab a pin. I have a box of pins right here. Grab a pin and pick up one loop with the one end of the pin and the other, and then just pin it, and it will, you can pull up on your cord on your thread, and that will save your work for another time. So what happens when you want to go back to the that spool knitting that you have done already? Well, you put both ends onto your skewer, take your tail end to the center and ease up. Now, the thing is, you will have picked up your right hand peg first before your left hand peg, so you know that that's how they go onto the pegs, and you just scooch them right onto the peg, and like that. And so now you can just carry on working with this yarn, so that gives you the option, if you want to stop and work with a different color yarn, it's easily done. What happens when you're done and you've done as much, your cord is as long as you want it to be? Well, to cut your thread, oh, it would have been smart if I had brought, oh, I did good, yay. To end off your cord, snip a length of your yarn, and then let's move that out of the way, then take your, get out of the way there, take your skewer and just pull that end through. So that's one end is cast off, and now just go around the remaining peg and lift the loop over that end, pull it through, and your end is finished. What happens if you've made a cord that you want to just use part of it? Well, that's easy too. Just slip the end of your scissors into one loop and snip it. Now just pull on the end and kind of just pull it apart, and your one end will go through the one loop, and take your skewer or a crochet hook and take the end through the other loop, and that end is safe and fine. And this one will have come through both ends, both loops, and so you just have to take that end through the remaining loop, and this piece is there. So the whole process of doing the spool knitting on different sizes of spool knitters, it's exactly the same. The yarn goes, we'll call this one right and this one left, or let's, I guess, nose and ear, right peg, left peg. Now I'm going to the right of the right hand peg. I'm going to go around the left hand peg and make the, oh, that's not a good color on the, I'll do it on a blue one. Okay, so I'll go to the right of the right hand peg, and then I will go in between the right and the left and around the left, and now back behind, and again, same as the last time. That tail end goes over your figure 8 and the working thread. And now the end will go, your yarn end goes around your left hand and your right hand peg. Whoops, excuse me, no, did that backwards. So we'll go around right hand, right, left. Always go right, left. That's why I say right, left, because otherwise it gets confusing. So go right first and then left. Always right, left. Okay, unless you're left-handed, but I think even lefties should probably do it this way too. And then it's the same thing. You will pull your cord down, travels down the front, and then you go around, you hold your yarn and in place behind, and lift right, left, pull down with your thumb and hold the end behind, lower goes over the upper, and right, left, right, left. And there you have it. That's how you make a 2-peg spool knitted cord. It's basically a lucite cord that you're making. Lucites are in reality a 2-peg spool knitter, but this way you don't have to own a separate lucite in order to make lucite cord, because no matter what kind of spool knitter you have, you can use it to make lucite cord, square cord for making jewelry and passementerie, trims, cords for drawstrings, shoelaces, all of the things, and any thickness of yarn that you want. Now, that's not true, because you're going to use a yarn that's going to work on your spool knitter. On the larger spool knitters, you can use thicker yarn, but your tension will make the size of the cord and the thickness of the cord. So happy spool knitting, and there you have 2-peg spool knitted cord. So I'm going to finish this one off by taking I have quite a long loop, but I'll take that long end through that loop, and then I'll go over and then lift my loop over that one and then pull it off, and that end is all good to go. Yay. So happy spool knitting, and may it bring you delight. And oh, go to my Etsy shop for lots of patterns, for wonderful PDFs for things to make with your spool knitters, because they're just so much fun. And you know, there's something really sweet and special about spool knitters. So I say enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So talk to you soon. Bye for now. Happy spool knitting.